This is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'm visiting Sparks Toyota. And I'm checking out a very special vehicle. It's a 2017 Toyota Corolla in the 50th anniversary special edition. So there's a lot of cool features, cosmetic and functional. So let's go ahead and check it out. This vehicle is sitting on 215, 45, 17 Firestone tires, wrapped around 17-inch alloy wheels. Now it has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated disc brakes in the front and solid disc brakes in the back. The name of this color is Black Cherry Pearl, and it looks absolutely fantastic. When the sun shines on it, it really comes to life. But check out the front of this vehicle. You have the that grille in black, a gloss black, in contrast with the color there. You also have some accents here on the ends where some LED daytime running lights are. Now the headlights are powered by LED bulbs for your low and your high beams, and they're both, the low and the high beams are in projector housings. This is what your key looks like. It's a proximity key system, and it's designed to where you can just keep it in your pocket, this little box here in your pocket, and you can use the vehicle without taking it out. It does have the lock and unlock buttons, the ability to open up the trunk, and a panic button. Then you have the ability to use a physical key that's here on the inside. You can push that button to release it. But typically you just keep it in your pocket. As long as I have the key with me, I can walk up to the vehicle. I can lock the doors by placing my finger right here. It will lock the doors. If I want to unlock them, I just put my hand behind the handle and it unlocks the vehicle so I can access it. As long as I have the key with me, I can use this vehicle. Here's the inside of the passenger door. It's all black on the inside except for this red line right here that matches the exterior of the vehicle. Isn't that neat? It's that same exterior color, and then you have this gloss black on top. Soft to the touch surfaces here around your arm, and then you also have the bottle holder at the bottom. There's your threshold, and it has a combination of a leather material and a mesh cloth in the center. It also has that red that matches the exterior of the vehicle, the red piping right here. And then you have the contrast stitching. Seats are very comfortable, and the bolsters, you do have pretty significant bolsters on there, but they're not intrusive at all. They're very comfortable. Check out the floor mats. They even have that same color edge on a Berber type carpet, and then you have the 50th anniversary name right there in the floor mats. You have some more of that stitching here. Check out the glove compartment. It's all smooth on the inside, smooth plastic, easy to clean out, but it's really good size. Here's the inside of the back door. It has that same color pinstripe here with the black accent above it. Soft to the touch armrest here. Your storage pocket is more in the forward position. Makes it easier for the backseat drivers to reach their water bottles and stuff. There's your threshold area. The back seats is basically a bench seat, but it has the same styling as the front seats with the mesh in the center and then the soft text here on the ends. You have a cup holders and armrests that you can fold up out of the way in case you need a center passenger. Now the center passenger is going to benefit because there's almost a completely flat floor back here. So there's only the tiniest little hump there in the center, which is no big deal compared to other vehicles. You have some cup holders that pop out here as well, and you can fold those away. The back seats have the latch system or ISOFIX for car seats. This vehicle has the vortex stabilizers back here as well, keeping the air from swirling around the vehicle too much, which causes more drag. Okay, so here's the back of the vehicle. You have a deck lid spoiler in the matching color. The backup camera is almost in the direct center position right in here. You have the single exhaust back here with a chrome tip. You also have a design here on the back of the vehicle that kind of simulates carbon fiber. 50th anniversary badging. Okay, let's take a look inside the trunk. You can of course use the key, or you can just push this little button under here. Opens up. So here's your cargo area, and really good size. They try to give you as much space as possible by pushing the panels all the way out as far as they can, here and here. Under this cover you have a spare tire and tools, and of course you can utilize some of this space for cargo space if you need to. And if you need to really add to your cargo space, you can fold those seats down. Now it's a 60-40 split, so you can have a combination of cargo and passenger space. But once you fold the seats down, you're really adding to the trunk area tremendously. You have a lockable fuel door, and it's on the driver's side, which makes it super convenient. And it has the traditional cap with a little plastic tether there, and it even gives you a place on the inside of the door to hang your cap. As long as I have the key inside the vehicle, it could be in my pocket or whatever. Place my foot on the brake and push this button, and that starts it right up. Okay, so here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat, and you can see the floor mat hooks in place in two places, so it keeps it in place perfectly. There's your accelerator and brake pedals there. You have a large footrest here on the left side, place to put your foot while you're driving, that makes you much more comfortable. If you've ever driven a vehicle without one of those, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a little latch a little bit to the right of center. So here's your center line, a little bit to the right. You just reach in, you lift up like so. There's the latch right there. And the hood is not very heavy, so it's easy to lift up. It does require a prop, so here's your prop, and it goes right here of one of two places. So you can have it in the higher position or the lower position. The lower position, if you take out that little cover, will give you a little bit more head clearance. So when you have the prop in this position here, and this lower position instead of that place, it gives you the best headroom and really good access to the engine bay. So here's your engine, and it is a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine with intelligent VVT system. You can actually see a little bit of the engine here in the front, but mostly it's covered up with that big plastic cover. But it's an inline 4, so the 4 cylinders are going this way. Your intake, your cold, clean air is going in the front. Your exhaust is going out the back, so that way it channels the heat away from the vehicle and away from your air conditioning coils and your radiator and all that good stuff. There's your battery. It's easy to get to. You also have an insulated firewall back there. I don't know if you can see that. Your strut towers are braced. I don't know if you can see under there, but it's braced by the frame of the vehicle, so that way it adds to your stability. But look how neat and organized everything is under here. Everything is just nice and tidy. It's not too cluttered. Very minimal, wiring and lines. That's always a good sign. There's your little horn. This engine is paired to a CVT automatic transmission, which gives you the best in performance as far as keeping the vehicle in its power band to save gas and give you a lot of performance. Okay, here's the inside of the driver's door. Now it's just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. You have a one-touch up and down power window for your driver's window, and it goes up and down pretty quick. Now this vehicle, the dealer has tinted the glass, so it doesn't come from the factory with tinted glass. Your door lock controls. Your side mirrors are adjusted right here, so you just pick a side and you use that little pad there. And then your interior gauges, the brightness is controlled there. The driver's seat is a manually adjusted seat as well, but it does have the ability to raise and lower the seat using that lever, that big lever there in the center. Right in here is your lever to open your trunk. Your steering column is a tilt and a telescoping steering column, and you lock it in place with this lever under here. Okay, let's take a look on the inside from the driver's position. Really like the contrast stitching there that matches the exterior of the vehicle. That's really neat. It also follows through here on the steering wheel. But check out my legroom. I have plenty of knee room here. My knee can overlap the center console quite a bit. The footrest is at the perfect angle, and my knee can kind of go into that little dished spot in the door, so I'm all good as far as the legroom. But the steering wheel is a leather wrap steering wheel, and I love that contrast stitching that matches, like I mentioned, the exterior of the vehicle. And what's interesting that I just noticed, that I'm actually wearing a shirt that matches it as well. So the stars are aligning today. But anyways, you have this texture here on the steering wheel, and it's a very comfortable and high quality feeling steering wheel, as the bolsters here at the top, and just overall feels good. It does give a little bit, so it's not like hard as a rock or anything. Okay, so you have some buttons here on the front and the back. You actually have paddle shifters back here. There's the negative, there's the positive, and you can see they extend down all the way down here, so they're all the way easy to access. But here on the front, you have your volume for your radio. You can change through your presets on your radio. Your Bluetooth controls for answering calls and making calls and hanging up are right there. You can change your audio source, like using this button, the mode button. And then you have your voice recognition button, so you can say certain commands and change the radio and things like that. On the right side, you have your cruise control down here. You push it here to turn it on, and you can set it by moving it down, change through your speeds, and cancel it by pulling it in. And it's not just a regular cruise control, it does have the adaptive radar cruise control, which will basically match the vehicle in front of you. So if I push this button right here, it's going to show me the distance in car lengths between me and the vehicle in front of me. So that way I can keep a set distance, because if you're driving on the highway, sometimes you get behind people and you can't pass them, and they're going slightly slower than you as far as your cruise control is set. So instead of constantly changing your speed to match other people, this vehicle, using a radar system, will go ahead and reduce your speed for you and match their speed while keeping a set distance, which is pretty interesting and super easy. It makes driving on the highway much easier. And then you have a lane departure alert system, so you can turn that on and off right here. These buttons correspond with the screen between your gauges, which we'll get to in just a minute. You have your windshield wiper controls on the right side. On the left side is your turn signal, but it also has your headlight controls. So you have your daytime running lights off position, automatic, parking lights, and then headlights on. Okay, let's take a look at the gauges here. Look how nice they look with that blue background and the chrome bezels. It looks like a really nice watch, is what it reminds me of. Your RPMs and your engine coolant temperature are there on the left. On the right side is your speedometer and your fuel gauge. But right here in the center, you have this screen, and it has these different icons here at the top. So right now it shows the outside temperature. Nice day today, quite a little bit warm, but it's a nice day, no rain or anything. And then you have your odometer at the bottom, and then different information in the center, which that can be changed. So using these buttons here and this back button, I'm going to kind of cycle through some information here. So right now we're in this eye icon right here, and you can see it has a bar, a little like a scroll bar on the left. So I can scroll down and get some more information depending on what I want. And it has a a sway warning. So this is pretty interesting. If you're on the highway and you know, if you're swerving around on the road, or it senses that you're having a different behavior than normal after a certain amount of time driving, it's going to give you a little alert telling you, hey, maybe you need to pull over and, you know, take a break, have some coffee, take a nap, or whatever. So there's information there in the eye icon. Going to the right shows you what your radio is doing, and we can use the up and down to scroll through your radio. Scrolling to the right again, this is where you can, you know, telling you that your radar is ready. We could turn that on and off using the cruise control. And then you have stored messages will show up here. And then you can go into your settings, which is pretty much endless. There's lots of different settings. So there's some information there in the center screen, just to give you an idea. You don't have to go in there and look at all of it, but it's there in case you want to view it. Alright, let's take a look at this center stack and check it out. You have that piano black, gloss black surface around the outside, and the camera is actually picking up a glare on the screen, but I don't see it with my eyes. That's pretty typical. Now I like the fact, and you might like this too, that it has the digital clock separate from the screen, so that way you don't have to look at the screen and look around with your eyes trying to find the you know, remember where the clock is, jumbled across, you know, with everything else. The clock is prominent, and the prominent position, it's separate, and it's easy to adjust with the little buttons there. Your four-way flashers are right here. You do have a CD player here at the top, and it's kind of like a soft touch buttons around the outside. And right now we're in this home screen, and it's showing you what your phone's doing, and where there's no phone paired, and then what your radio is doing. So you can go into this, that's access using this home button. Let's go ahead and push the audio button, and then you can see your presets here on the left side, and you know what station you're on, and some information about what's playing. And then you have a source button, which shows you all the different ways you can play music or sounds through the sound system. You have AM, FM, CD, USB, auxiliary input, satellite radio, and Bluetooth audio, so you can wirelessly play music through your phone using the Bluetooth system. And then apps is all the different icons here for your audio, your phone. You can actually get information for traffic and weather too as well. You have a traditional volume knob and tune through the stations. Okay, your climate control is down here, and you have an automatic feature, so you can set the temperature and it'll kind of do its thing. Front and rear defrosters. You have your temperature controls here, and then your fan speed, where you want the air to blow, recirculate the air, and then you have the outside air coming in the vehicle. Right here is where you'll find your auxiliary and USB ports under that little cover. You also have a 12-volt power supply right here, and a nice little place to put your phone or whatever, a little storage pocket there in front of the shifter. Okay, so here is your shifter. And check it out. It has this little boot, and look at that contrast stitching on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it in reverse. We could check out the backup camera, see what it looks like. You can see it has the guidelines there, and it's a wide angle view, so you can see from the license plate all the way to the sky and all the way around, so that way you don't have any blind spots basically. Neutral, there's your drive position. This is your normal drive position. It'll cycle through the speed ratios automatically, but if you want to manually change through the ratios, you can put it over here to manual mode, and you can change through up and down, and it will simulate gears. So right now it's saying I'm in first gear. So it's just like a ratchet shifter where you can cycle through the gear ratios. Now this is handy for downshifting. In case you're going down a steep grade, a steep hill, you can downshift, and that way it uses some engine braking. Your traction control, you can turn that off if you need to spin tires for whatever reason, like say if you're stuck in the snow or mud or whatever. Sport mode, you can turn on sport mode and it will give you more performance, and it's not going to focus too much on fuel economy when that's on. Here's your cup holders. It has this little center divide that's able to be repositioned depending on what size cups you have, or you could just leave it out so that way you can utilize this space for other things besides just cups. Alright, so you have this armrest, and the armrest is not very shareable with the passenger, so it's soft, but you're gonna have to fight over it with the passenger. It's not super huge. And this lifts up actually in two positions. The first one is the little tiny pocket right here to put some stuff, and then the second one is the larger portion, and this is where you can go ahead and put all your junk in there. It does have a little carpeted bottom up to it, but that's removable. But it's kind of hard to see in there. Hopefully you can see. It goes in there quite a ways. But overall, you know, junk drawer of the vehicle, just put all your junk besides the glove compartment. Okay, so here's your rear view mirror, and it has the manual day and night mode. You have tap lights that you can turn on and off. You also have the ability to turn all your interior lights on with that switch. You can turn them all off, or you can have them turn on with the door, so in that center position. The visors have mirrors in them. Same thing on that side. Okay, let's take a look at the visibility in the back. Alright, so the headrests don't really get in the way much. They don't really line up with the pillars, but they're not that huge, but they do kind of obstruct a little bit. Not the center one though. But there is plenty of glass back there to see out of. There on the sides and there in the back. Of course, you have the backup camera as well. Kind of help you out with that. Alright, there you have it. Thank you for watching, and thank you to Sparks Toyota here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for allowing me to show off an awesome vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time.